kind of guitar play. I don't think I will ever fall out of love with that kind of guitar playing. Okay, so now we get to the top 5, man. Congratulations, you made it all the way to the top 5. And no surprise, top 5. I told you about one of the guys I'm personally learning from, just one of his courses, and dubbed as the greatest shredder of all time, and I don't dispute that. I think he is that, the fastest and greatest shredder of all time, Michelangelo Batio. An unbelievably fast guitar player. Like you watch him play, you listen to him play, you're like, wow, is that even possible? He plays as fast as driving a Lamborghini around a Formula One racetrack. That's literally how fast Michelangelo Batio plays, and I love his playing. He's an unbelievable guitar player. Just to show you what's possible, to push your conceptions and limits of what you think guitar is all about to the next level. That's Michelangelo Batio, man. Now some people say, oh, that stuff ain't melodic. Oh, you guys that like this shred stuff are not melodic. But you know, if you look at my ranking so far, right, we've had some phenomenally melodic players. You kind of need some guys that push the art over beyond the edge, beyond what we all thought was possible, and take it to the next level. And that's what Michelangelo Batio does. And that's what some other guys like Chris Impellitteri, another phenomenal shredder, who I probably had him on my top 10 list at some point. But it's so crowded, right? Guitar is just so crowded. He's probably just outside the top 10. But I could swap him in or out for any of the any of the other guys, and it would still be a great guitar ranking. So check out Chris Impellitteri as well if you want. The best shredders are probably, fastest and greatest shredders are probably Michelangelo Batio, Chris Impellitteri, and then some other guys. But as you know, like, shred is not everything. That's why, you know, we've only got one of the top 3 fastest shredders on this top 10 guitar players list, and that's Michelangelo Batio. But you know, I love shred. Shred is super useful. It's unbelievable. I should probably do a ranking of the 10 best just shredders at some point. So let me know in the comments if you want to see that ranking. So that's number 5, Michelangelo Batio. And then, so now we are on to number 4. And no surprise, okay, no surprise, I got another one of my metalheads. And I'm talking about a heavy metal band, Judas Priest, and guitarist KK Downing. Unbelievable guitar player. Now, I think you really can't mention KK Downing without talking about Glenn Tipton. He's a partner from Judas Priest. So those 2 guitar players are both unbelievable. I really like KK Downing. You know, there's just some things I like about the guy. And I also think that he had a pretty big role, especially early on in Judas Priest. But if you want to get some kind of cool heavy metal riffs and a lot of cool guitar playing stuff, you can spend literally hours listening to Judas Priest. At least I can. So we've got him in number 4. Now, congratulations, you made it all the way to the top 3. That's unbelievable. Okay, so who do you think is in the top 3? Think about all the legendary guitar players in history that we haven't mentioned yet. You got guys like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, Slash, Jeff Beck, Felix. Um, Felix should probably be in my top 10, man. Felix is a great guitar player. Uh, Now playing with Bon Jovi, Felix he's an unbelievable guitar player. One of my favorites. But of course, as I said, this is a very crowded top 10, so we couldn't necessarily fit him in. But on earlier versions of my list, he's been there. And probably when I make this list at different time, he's probably gonna be there because he's just outside the top 10, just like Chris Impellitteri. But my number 3 guitar player is Axel Rudipel, an unbelievable metal guitar player. Kind of plays in like hair metal, glam metal, a lot of melodic ballads, a lot of melodic runs with some shred characteristics, and a lot of really cool riffs. It's really hard to find an Axel Rudipel song that you're gonna say like this is just awful. So he's an unbelievable songwriter, and that's something that not everybody in this top 10 list is necessarily at the same level at. You know, but when you listen to Axel Rudipel, you can just tell like, wow, this guy, he really cares where he puts each note, right? Like you can tell like, wow, this kid is on another level, and then he can actually play that stuff. You know, that's talent right there. So now we're on to the top 2, man. This is unbelievable. So guitar player number 2. Number 2 greatest guitar player of all time, according to me, on my ranking. And no surprise, now you're seeing the top 5 is being dominated by metal guitar players, and you know it's the same thing for the number 2 spot. It's no surprise. The great legendary player from American glam metal band Dokken. Of course, we're talking about George Lynch, Mr. Scary. George Lynch, man, that's what's up. I watch George Lynch play or listen to him, and he's another one of those head-turning guitar players, and he's just such an impressive guitar player. Like, there are a few guitar players that, like, if they play something, they just make it look really cool and sound really cool and look really virtuosic. And I'm talking about players like Yngwie Malmsteen, whom we covered earlier in the ranking, who appeared earlier in the ranking. He's like that. Another one of those players is, of course, Michelangelo Betti, just because he's the fastest shredder on the planet. Like, he grabs a guitar and he's just playing so fast. Like, it's like, is that even humanly possible? Same thing with George Lynch at number 2 on the greatest guitar players of all time. And why George Lynch just stands out is not only is he fast, but he can blow any guitar player out of the water on any day. In fact, he can blow all the guitar players combined out of the water on any day. When he really starts playing, he's a really powerful guitar player. He plays these really powerful passages that really just blow you right out of the water. You're like, I've lost my breath. I don't even know if I'm still alive. Like, what century is this? Like, what guitar player just happened? You know? So it's not just shred. It's the you know, the melodic feel, but it's more than that. It's the power behind the passages and everything that's happening. He's able to tell a really unique, powerful story out of his guitar playing. Like, just an all-out accomplished guitar player who really knows, like, he sets up what's gonna happen later by what he does earlier in the song, and no note is wasted. His playing is about as close to perfection as you can get, guys. Like, when you listen to George Lynch play, that's about as close to guitar perfection as you're gonna get. And so, at number one on the list is a player that, if we describe George Lynch in those terms, then it probably should just make sense to you guys. This kind of metal player that we're now gonna talk about. The attributes are just so similar, although slightly different style. And he's got a lot of blues in him, yeah. A lot of blues stuff. But an all-out accomplished songwriter, just insane guitar player. Just legendary, completely legendary guitar player, and has been a massive influence on a lot of the guitar players that we consider to be elite today. They really look back to this guy, and I'm talking, of course, about the Irish great guitar player, blues, rock, metal guitar player, the legend, Gary Moore. Just one of his famous riffs, blues riffs actually. So it's not all about speed, it's also about feel and emotion. But Gary shreds like a monster. He can shred as fast as any of them. And he can play as powerful as any of them. In fact, he's a trailblazer in that, and an unbelievable songwriter. Like, you listen to him in metal, hard rock, and in the blues, and it's just unbelievable. Like, he's been through virtually all those genres, and broken new ground in each of them. And like I said about George Lynch, it takes an unbelievable guitar player to be able to do those kinds of things. These are the players that no note goes wasted. It's all driving some story, some grand epic opera, some grand fiction, some grand tale that just has the audience mesmerized and captivated, and you're on the edge of your seat, literally just watching every note as the maestros are playing and laying down this stuff. And um, you know, I don't know if the guitar playing of these, especially those top two, top three guys, is gonna be matched in our lifetimes. But definitely the guitar playing of these top 10 combined is gonna be hard to match for any guitar player in our in our lives. So there you have it, guys, and we're now at the end of the guitar ranking. Now, if you are looking to, if you're much more interested in the business side, of course, growing your own business, then I have some free resources. The links will be in the description.